All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the Movement Presents Night at the Round Table. It's round two or second go at it. You know what I'm saying? This is pretty much where we do a midweek breakdown of news. You know, the tiny stuff that's circulating around. The different media outlets and rumors. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm Twine the Divine Liberty of the Movement Boxing Podcast, hoopdab.com, RockyMountainBoxing.com, Boxing Scene. And, I got my co-host from our show, the Movement Boxing Podcast, Bernard, the
What's good?
out there, you know what I'm saying? Also co-host of the, you guys, Truth and Facts About Boxing, you know what I'm saying? Welcome to the show. Glad you could be on with us today.
Oh, no problem.
You ready to dive in these little topics? You ready?
I'm ready, man. Let's bring it.
All right, man. So we're gonna be starting off with something that popped up a little bit earlier. I want to say Monday when this happened. Well, at least when it was released. Adrian Broner and Timothy Bradley seem to be going at each other right now in the media or social media. You know, Timothy Bradley called Adrian Broner a tune-up, and of course, Adrian Broner got wind of it, a little tirade on social media saying, fuck him, I'll tune your bitch ass up and called him a coon. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
gonna all that shit right now, man. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with you, Bernard. What's your assessment on this whole thing right now? Let's just start off with the social media beef and the media beef in general between those two, between what was said.
I mean, apparently, Bradley didn't say it on social media, right? He
It
said
was,
on like Fight Hype or one of those.
yeah, it was actually an article or video, so it wasn't like social media or Instagram or nothing. It was an actual article, I
Oh, so
believe.
he put it out there in an article on what mainstream like ESPN or something like that.
Not ESPN, but it was on a big time outlet. You know what I'm saying that it called.
Oh, so you know what then? Huh, that's a big shot. That was a like hey, boom, and he took a shot at a target who consistently has been in the media lately. Let's be honest. So, because Broner's been in the media because of all his recent, well, he's been in the media because of the getting arrested again and his truck being shot, his rental truck being shot up at. He's already in the media. Okay, Timothy Bradley has a fault since he took that L to Manny Pacquiao. So that's you haven't heard from him since like really mainstream. So what do he do? Take a shot at the next biggest target in the media. Broner. I think it's an easy. Not, I think he was shooting a shot out there to get his name out there again. I don't think he's gonna take the fight because we all know top-ranked fighters and our Haven protected fighters does a lot of in-house stuff. It will be most likely we'll see Bradley versus Vargas two before we see a Bradley versus Broner fight.
I mean, but it's actually a good ass fight when you think about it, man.
I agree. I think it is. I'm glad Broner responded back because he's making us talk about it. My thing is this: if it's serious, if Broner's serious, let him fight.
It's actually good money to this fight. I think, you know what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure it'll be on pay-per-view. But this is actually a good fight. I'd like to see, especially if Bradley can make 147. There was talks of him going to 154 to face Cotto. That's the only thing he's been rumored with recently as far as opponents. So I definitely would like the fight to happen, especially considering the little animosity that's came out over the past week. And was like, I like the fight. I don't mind certain back and forth. Was throwing the coon card out there. I don't think any brother needs to be calling another brother that, considering AB's track record right now, what he's doing.
I feel that word. I feel the word "cool" has been used a lot.
Yeah, but
you can use it with Broner.
I think this is the same dude that was shucking and jiving, talking about voting for Donald Trump. So you played yourself.
I think I told somebody this. Today somebody said, "Well, he who is he?" Broner said the reason why he voted for Donald Trump is because of the taxes. The Republicans tend to look out for the rich in the tax bracket. So why wouldn't he? Broner makes a lot of money. Why would he not vote for somebody to protect his money? I'm looking at it from that angle. I'm not looking at it as, hey, Broner's being cool like Kanye West and Steve Harvey and them sitting there talking to him. He actually said, hey, look at what the Republicans. I mean, I don't want to make it into a political debate or anything, but I don't want to call him a coon for that. I know black. I'm just using this as an example. I know I got people that are black that own firearms that vote Republican to protect their right to bear arms.
Yeah. Okay.
So I can always, but see, like then we go. I can go against people like Christians. I'm like, why would you vote Democratic when they support homosexuality and abortion?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's still thing. You talk about. I don't want to call him a coon. Now you talk about what he's doing out here in the streets and stuff. I want to call him a coon. I just say a young-minded individual, or 2K would say a young-minded nigga. You know, but
you know, you associate ignorance with cooning as well. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
hey, could we call? Look at Ben Carson. He's an intelligent individual, and he made a. I told Malachi this yesterday in the comments. Oh, you call Timothy Bradley a coon? I said Ben Carson's a coon when he said they called slaves immigrants. Come on, you an intelligent individual. But the reason why I call him a coon because Bradley was basically shitting on Al Heyman, saying that hey, Garcia and Thurman that fight is not going to happen. He was telling that basically during that little fight hype interview, which I know that was going to mainstream media as well. And what basically happened? The Garcia Thurman fight happened. Yeah. He made that bullshit comment as well, talking about hey, I don't want to fight for all these belts to these sanctioning bodies and all these sanctioning fees, this and that. But you had all those belts at 140. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking at the side of your neck. I mean, if you're talking about you being older, you don't want to. I mean, yeah, I can put devil's advocate to hey, I don't want to fight for all these type of belts, but let's be understandable. The only belt you're going to fight for under top rank is that WBO.
Okay. Yeah, very true. And, you know, there ain't really nothing lined up for him. I guess Bradley got drawn into the conversation because they were trying to find out when he'd get back in the ring, and they threw out some names. And, you know, Broner's name was thrown out there on Fight Hype. And, you know, he pretty much said it. He actually said he would like the match, but to call it a tune-up, that's probably what got AB, you know, upset the most.
Hey, it's a shot. I mean, here's the thing, right? Even going, you all these guys take all these shots.
It was Bradley's intention to make it to come off like that, the way AB took it, as far as it's a tune-up. You know what I'm saying? That term. Do you think he intended for it to come out in as negative as it did, or for AB to have that kind of reaction?
Okay. If you call it Broner a tune-up, a four-division champion, a champion in 4 divisions, excuse me. That's disrespectful. I just see if Broner has 2 losses, right? Porter and McDonald.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't really lost to anybody else. I mean, that's disrespectful, man. I think, but if you're taking that type of shot, Broner had the right to respond. Now, if they're serious about it, Bradley's serious about it, then make the fight happen.
Yeah, I mean,
because Bradley, how many losses does Bradley have?
How many bouts or how many losses?
Losses.
I can think of really just Pacquiao, and I can't think of his other losses right off the top of the head. Is Pacquiao?
I think he only got 2. He lost to Pacquiao.
Yeah, and he got a draw against Chavez. I don't think lost to be outside of those.
So y'all both got 2 losses on your,
against good welterweights at that. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here though.
Okay.
Boxing is one of those sports to where, what have you done for me lately? You know what I'm saying? And we do a lot of that judgment off of that kind of thing. So based off of that, I'm like, Tim Bradley got a little, I guess he got some points there as far as, what has AB done for us lately? He squeaked out a victory against Granados, which many people question. He hasn't necessarily been in there with the top talent recently. Even the Ashley Theophane fight, he struggled, until he got the knockout. So, I mean, and based off of how we look at things in boxing as far as what have you done for me now, I mean, Bradley probably had every right to put that term out there, even though it is disrespectful. I definitely feel you. This is a 4-time champion who's only lost to, Maidana and Porter. Porter, who's, going to be fighting for the WBC belt eventually against Keith Thurman in a rematch. So,
but let me piggyback on you real quick. What has Bradley done lately since that loss to Pacquiao?
True, but
other than saying, hey, after I lost to Pacquiao,
I was pretty much.
You might go out and have that.
I was pretty much going off of the caliber of opponent though. Like Pacquiao, still somebody that could go at 147. Like we ain't necessarily looking at Granados as a top 147 contender right now, or even at 140. He was probably like maybe top 10 based on who he's fought, and just he gives everybody a tough fight. But like he's no Manny Pacquiao. Like it's not even comparable. So I mean, based off of that, you could kind of do that. But Tim Bradley, he's been out for a year, I guess, or ever since the Tim Bradley fight. And he said he's just been resting his body. But I mean, a layoff, who knows how that's going to affect him, even if that fight is made. But I think it's actually something that Aaron should look into, considering. I mean, he was actually ready to make the fight offer to Pacquiao, though, correct?
Yeah.
Or between Broner and Pacquiao, but the numbers were right. So I mean, it seems like something that's doable for both fighters, but it's going to end up being pay-per-view just because of they both requiring a couple millions, as far as Bradley and Broner.
It would have to be, but my question is this though, because do you think HBO picks up the pay-per-view or Showtime? And what is
I'll honestly say, the way Top Rank has done things, they're doing their own pay-per-views now. I'm not sure if the Mariaga Valdez fight was HBO PPV or was that just Top Rank? Because I know they did a Top pay-per-view that it was just them and they didn't have any HBO backing. So I'm not sure. I forgot actually if HBO had backed this most recent pay-per-view they had over the weekend with Mariaga and Valdez.
That is a very good question because.
But it doesn't seem like HBO has anything exclusive, but I think this is definitely a fight they would pick up. Adrian Broner is definitely good at selling himself. Bradley.
With the budget cuts with HBO though.
Yeah, but that's why you do the pay-per-view, because they don't have to put out the same dollar amounts.
Right, they get that 10%.
Yeah, and they get it on the back end off of what's paid, so it ain't necessarily putting out the cash to pay for licensing directly. But it's definitely an interesting fight, man. I'd love to see it. And I mean, stop talking about it, be about it, both y'all, man. Bradley, get your ass back in the ring. Broner, get in there and fight somebody and win against somebody for a while again. That's what we really want to see from them.
That is a very good question. What will a fight with Tim Bradley give Broner the focus more?
You know what? I think a lot of times Broner is a head case. Like, we saw him get the fight with Sean Porter, is out of catchweight and all that. And he didn't necessarily perform. He didn't come out to fight. So, I mean, I don't know if he's necessarily going to get himself up to fight a Bradley neither. So that's what you got to really.
That fight was in Vegas. It was being promoted by Mayweather.
Yeah, but I mean, you're a professional at the end of the day. At the end of the day, that shit shouldn't really matter.
Too many distractions right there.
Whose fault is that though? He's a professional.
Yeah, no, he is. He don't need that. That does not need to be a fight promoted by Mayweather. I mean, that was I blame on Broner, but
he need to get his head back in the game regardless. That I mean, we can't put the blame on this performance on Mayweather. Like he just went.
No, I'm not putting the blame on him. Mayweather. Okay. What I'm saying, that fight can't be in Vegas because it's too many distractions for him.
Yeah, I mean, but you're gonna avoid fight capital because you can't be disciplined. I don't know. Like it's a fight.
Yeah. It could be in Vegas. It could be in New York. It could go either way.
Yeah, I definitely could see it being in Barclays or something like that. But I don't see somebody with Bradley's caliber sinking down the AB and saying I'm going to come to your hometown to fight. No,
I definitely agree with you on that one. That's because they both fought in Vegas. So,
Yeah, they're both used to the Vegas atmosphere. I mean, Broner's done a lot of stuff at home, in his hometown lately, but he's, capable of putting out a crowd in Vegas, especially for something like this with Tim Bradley. All right,
Okay.
so we're gonna go ahead and go on to our next topic, which is we definitely had some more quarreling in the media between these two, which I'm starting to get tired of personally. At 154, we got Eris Larry Landa, the super champ of the WBA, and we got his mandatory, who is Demetrius Andrade, who holds the regular belt that he just won over Jack Cool K. Lara went on recently stating on Boxing Scene that Andrade priced himself out of their talks to unify for their belt recently. And Andre fired back and said, my team never sent nothing. Pretty much the same shit that happened with the Jermell Charlo situation when they were supposed to fight a couple years back. He never saw one thing. That was pretty much what Google said. Let me get your take on this back and forth, man, because it's funny, these two are actually in position to fight each other as mandatory, in the WBA consolidation. But all they do, they manage to land blows on each other everywhere but inside the ring. It's all inside the ring, man.
Hey, I saw that. That was funny as hell. Let me say this.
I mean, so let me.
The WBA needs to get involved to make the fight happen.
Exactly.
You know what? That's the only way I can see it happen. You know what? Let's get that purse bid going. Whoever bids on the purse, decides who wins, and then whatever the percentage is of 75% will go to Lara, and the 25% will go to.
I mean, that's if they go to purse bid, though. Normally they give them like 30 days to come to an agreement. You know what I'm saying? Before they order a purse bid. So it looks like all talks are out the window right now. And you got to think about this, man. Andre just made like I want to say like $70K to go over to Germany to fight Cool K because he was on the purse bid. And Banner Promotions, they ain't gonna win shit, especially a PBC fight. They're not winning that purse bid.
No.
So I don't know what the split is with the WBA. I don't think it's the same as the IBF as far as 75-25. I think it may be a little bit more fair.
No, what was it with Gennady and Jacob? Wasn't it 75-25?
Shit, was it? It might have been. I
thought it was. That's what I thought it was.
It didn't go to purse bid. They actually came to terms.
Yeah, they gave a little bit more. That's why I'm kind of wondering.
Yeah, they came to an agreement though. Like it didn't have to go to purse bid, so that was a good thing. So I'm thinking, I don't know what kind of money Andre is requesting for this fight, but when you just made $70K against Cool K, you got to kind of stand down and be, sensical in your bargaining. I could probably see what he made for the fight against Willie Nelson or something like that. But it definitely should be something comparable and a little bit higher, for this fight because it's a little bit more of a mega fight, especially at 154. Everybody, let me welcome Big Cool to the panel, man. Another one of our co-hosts from the Movement Boxing Podcast, also running Colossal Boxing Talk. What's going on with you, fella?
What's up, fam? How y'all doing?
Pretty good.
I'm good, man. How about you?
I'm doing good, man. Glad to be back on another show.
All right, man. Right now we talking about the Eris Larry Landa and Demetrius Andrade situation. Basically, the back and forth. They go back and forth everywhere, but inside the ring, man. You pretty much know what happened already as far as Lara saying, Andre priced himself out of the fight, and Boo Boo saying they didn't even receive a contract or any kind of offers, period. I kind of wish Bo was around because he be around a lot of them Cuban cats that know the inner workings of these dealings, especially with Lara, the Cubas and all that. But this is not the first time that it's been said that they've offered Andre fights. So let me get your take on that, Big Cool. What's your thought process of what needs to happen here? Do you think Lara's full of shit? Like, do you think offers are actually made or what, man?
I mean, I don't know, man. There's no telling. I think that Bernard, he was saying that they should just come to a purse bid to force it that way. but there's a lot of ego involved, man. And I don't know what Laura means when he says Andre priced himself out. Laura is still with Heyman or not? Probably is because he does fight on PBC. But of course he gonna want the money. He gonna want what Al Heyman guys get paid. But him not being the champion, he has to make some concessions to Erislandy Lara, who has been dominant in the 154-pound division and has been fighting consistently. But it's a fight that needs to be made. Andre needs to understand that his place in the pecking order, just because you're a regular champion and has been a former WBO champion in the division, that was in the past. If you want to fight the best like you say you do, you need to sign the contract, make the concessions, because the money going to come. We was talking about last night, if you win, the purses will get bigger and the opportunities will get better, and you'll, become more of a household name. But if he has that attitude that, I'm the champion now, then no fights will never get made, man. So put the ego to the side and make this fight, man.
And
I got a quick question.
That WBA belt isn't a real belt because Jacobs had to relinquish that shit before he fought Golovkin, and they still got it out there for grabs. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really necessarily a belt.
Got a quick question for y'all.
Good.
Could this be Lara avoiding Andrade?
Of course.
Like he may be ducking it. Because let's be honest, don't know I really Canelo avoided Andrade, even when he was even when Canelo was his number one. I mean, Canelo was the number one contender for Andrade's WBO championship. He avoided him. Then when the roles became reversed, Andrade didn't get the shot. So he went after Cocaine. So my question is Lara avoiding Andrade? Could that be it? I mean, it's looking like it. You saying one thing, Andrade saying another thing, but could it be a point that Andrade didn't look impressive in his win against Cocaine? He got the win though. So I give it 8-4. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
but could it be? Lara's getting up there. Like, I don't want to take Cocaine. I take her.
I mean, that's a valid point point to bring up. I mean, Andre is 5'11", fast hands, decent power, can box. From the both orthodox and the southpaw stance. You know what I'm saying? He's multi-dimensional. So that is a difficult task at hand. But great fighters take on difficult tasks and prove that they're great fighters. And I believe that Erislandy Lara is a special type of fighter, or can be. But I mean, he does a lot of talking too. He's fought Van Martirosyan twice. He's fought guys that he really shouldn't have fought. He fought some good guys, but both of these guys have, desired on their resume. But once again, this is new age boxing, man. Egos and want to have the biggest purses prevents the fights from happening.
Found himself in a tricky position at 154. At a certain time, Lara was stable mates with both of the Charlo brothers who were champions. You know what I'm saying? You got Canelo, who definitely didn't want any piece of either one of them in the rematch or against even when Andre was a champion. I mean, so you got to think in terms of big fights. It was only that was only Lara's option was Andre this whole time as a big option. If he couldn't get a rematch with Canelo, because you got to think the Russell 154 is working itself out. These prospects that are coming up now, like the J-Rocks that lost in, when he lost against Charlo. Now WBC mandatory for Jermell Charlo. So these guys are working themselves up the rank, even though we knew it was a talented division. Get to where we could see something. So, and like now we see everybody calling out Jarrett Hurd, who's a champion at 154. That's another thing, man, that has me pretty frustrated. You know what I'm saying? People being upset as far as people going after Jarrett Hurd. We discussed that already, though. But once you get that belt, man, there ain't nothing easy about it, man. There ain't no learning on the job or none of that. Or I'm still getting experience stuff. Like fuck it.
It shouldn't be. Yeah, it shouldn't be either. If you ain't ready, don't fight for the title.
Quick question: have y'all noticed anybody that's been the IBF champion have been getting their championship run or their shots at the belt around their late, like their age between the 18th and 20th, 25, 20th fight. Between that range, like 18 to 25 fights.
Oh
Like,
yeah, of course we do.
Is that something that the IBF is trying to do? You think they try to push?
What, younger champions?
Yeah, younger champions and like prospects.
I don't think so. I mean, their rankings are pretty crap already. I mean,
All of them.
Yeah.
They're pretty crap already. So I don't think they're going out of their way to do anything like this, man. They're just fucking.
They just so happen to be that they throw the rankings together. And like when we was interviewing Darrell, you know people, you gonna find your way up there in the top 10 whether you earned it or not. So I mean,
All right, so
it is what it is, man.
hopefully we can get these two in the ring, but it's basically gonna come to a situation where the WBA is gonna have to order talks and give them 30 days before they go to purse bid. Which I got a feeling that's what's gonna happen. Like I know they're not gonna come to a financial agreement. Lara's making $1 million to fight against like Yuri Foreman. Coming out of that because Andre didn't get extra.
What did Andre make against Koke?
Only like $7,000 because Banner Promotions they wasn't winning no purse bid against Searle and Vince in Germany.
I still don't understand why he re-signed with them, man. I still don't.
That's been his biggest fault is the business. We think the world of him inside the ring, but as far as on the business side, man, he's made some.
He ain't the sharpest tool.
Some very questionable decisions, man. But with that, we will go ahead and go into our next topic, which is, I seen going around to some of the groups that we're in, which I thought was pretty interesting. Deontay Wilder pretty much made a statement, being a heavyweight, he can skill as long as you have a power. All it takes is one punch to change the fight at that weight class. That's pretty much what he was getting at. And you got a lot of people, I guess, that was saying it was bullshit, basically what he said, man. So I want to get you guys talk on that as far as is he out of line for saying you don't need any skill heavyweight. Some accuracy too. What do you guys think to it? I'm gonna go ahead and start with you, Bill Cool.
Did they get that? Was this a video that they caught this him saying, or somebody wrote it down? And I want to make sure before I actually say what I feel like saying, because that's one of the craziest statements I've ever heard a fighter say. And I'm a big fan of Wilder, but if you don't think you need skills to be a dominant heavyweight champion like you want to be, then you might as well just, shoot yourself. I don't know what to fucking say to that. I mean, you gotta have skills. He didn't win a championship because he didn't have skills. Yeah, he has the power, and that right there let me know that I don't know where his mind is. He really working on the skills he needs to develop? Because you saying you just relying on that power. Joshua's hearing that, Ortiz is hearing that, Klitschko is hearing that, Parker is hearing that. Like, well, shit. We already got the one up on him. We fundamentally sound, better technique. All we got to do is be in the right place at the right time and can be able to withstand his power. And he ain't going to know how to react because he hasn't fought a guy of those, on their level. Maybe not Parker, but the other guy. So him saying that is not making, him look any better. It's just making him look worse, man. And maybe that's the reason why he's been fighting the guys he's been fighting, because he know they can't deal with the power, and that's what you want to rely on. I don't know.
I'm gonna get your take on it, Bernard, before I put a different spin on it. In terms of why. What do you think about it as far as even given this era now, do you think it's more accurate than in past eras where you had guys like Ali, or had guys that were fucking 6'5" that could get around the ring, Tony Tucker, you know what I'm saying? You had guys that actually could box their ass off and move, that were really big guys. So let me get your thoughts on that. Do you think it's more of a sign of the era of the heavyweight division? Is there some accuracy to what he's saying because of that? Do you think it's off point?
That's a real good question. Okay, let's look at the landscape right now. Klitschko and Joshua fight this weekend, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Klitschko wins, that's skill and experience right there. If Joshua wins, that's going to be youth and skill. That's what I'm calling it, youth and skill. Other than them two, Wilder's the next heavyweight. You got Joseph Parker. What? What? Hey, hold on, Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz is Cuban from the Cuban school of boxing.
And old
Am
as
I right
hell.
or am I wrong? Well, we ain't got El Cubano de Casual on here. So, but Luis Ortiz uses skill. And he got experience too. Okay. Other than that, I named 5 top heavyweights. You can remain Vernon would be 6.
I mean, but
I'm throwing them out there.
I don't consider him no big time dude either, though at heavyweight. I mean,
No, I'll give
Who?
I'd mention Pulev before I mentioned Stavern, even though he's the mandatory for WBC right now. But skill wise,
I'm talking about the
He
champion.
not.
The champion. But let's be honest. I mean, Wilder struggled against Gerald Washington.
that's actually what I was going to touch on next, man. So definitely, man, go.
Oh, you know what? That's my tag then. That's how I look because you need a skill to get him. Now with this, the best one to put up the fight you can look at. That's what's the dude name? Spilka.
Spilka, yeah.
Spilker.
He timed that punch. I don't care what anybody said. That was not no lucky punch. He timed it.
Yeah, that's skill.
That was skill. And you were struggling with him. So to sit there and say you don't need skill, you need a skill to beat Spilka, and you need a skill to get Washington because when Washington had that arm down, you came with that short right hook that knocked him down.
I think a lot of what he was saying was taken out of context, man. I think he was talking about it as far as at heavyweights, that you got a lot of people with that one punch equalizer the whole fight around. With that said, let me ask you guys, instead of picking up skill set or adding to a skill based set, do you guys think Wilder is starting to rely too much on his power, like we saw against Washington, where he wasn't even using his jab against Washington, trying to go jab for jab with him. Like he was getting out jabbed the whole fight basically and losing the fight before the knockout. So do you guys think he becoming too reliant upon that power instead of, putting things together skill wise, like most heavyweights usually do in the past, doing everything off the jab. What do you guys think about that?
Yes.
Big Cool. First.
I don't know, man. I mean, the power's there. So if he touch you, I mean, he could just get you out. Whether if it's crazy, he might not be relying on it, even though I believe he is. But I don't think he's solely relying on it. I just think that maybe he was nervous. I give him a pass for the Gerald Washington fight. He had been out, guy just as tall as he is. Reach similar. So I mean, he was trying to figure things out. I just think that we're not gonna see his full potential until he gets with somebody else, But I'm just saying his statement seems like he's relying on their power, but I think he's regressing under Mark Breland, and I think he needs somebody that can kind of not retool anything, but just polish up on what he does well and kind of slowly add little subtle things to his game. Because if his jab is on point, he can't get out jab. He's 6'7". He shouldn't be getting out jab.
He's a lot faster better than most of the heavyweights too. So I'm like, he should be flicking that thing out there. You know what I'm saying? Like
he did against Stavern, you know what I'm saying? But like again, Stavern is only 6'3".
Yeah. Bernard? You got anything?
I say yes, because let me tell you, when he was struggling against Gerald Washington, he was getting out jab. So when you sit there, you're getting out jabbed by a person that's your height, almost got your reach. Then by the 5th round, he got the knockout?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He thought, okay, boom. Hand is down. Boom. That's when skill kicked in. His skill kicks in when he's in trouble, when you think he's losing the fight. And when skill is his power, when I say he relies on his power a lot, he was looking for that punch, like he was looking for that. First, he was kind of in the fill out stage. Let's still give him that to Gerald Washington. First round is the fill out round. Second round, third round. But then you kind of get a little desperate by the 4th round. now you're trying to land that punch to get, to get Gerald out of he frustrating you. And then, boom, you have to use a skill that was a counter. Gerald threw his punch, his jab, it was down, came through, short right hook, clearly on the jawline, get him down, but you already got the power, so okay, boom. Skill comes in for him when he's in trouble. He doesn't use it in the beginning.
Yeah,
so I'm kind of so with that,
it's a double-edged sword, man. It's statement. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it become a little bit too much that the power. You know, we've seen it in the Cespilka fights. We've seen it in the Washington fight. You know, to where he was getting outworked by Cespilka pretty much until he timed that punch. Gerald Washington, he was getting outworked until he timed that punch, man. So I'm like, he's definitely some skill to be avoiding getting in these holes he's been getting in the fights lately, man. So I mean, just based off of that, I say his statement is bullshit about not needing skills, even though he does have that equalizer. Things hard on yourself where you don't have to. 6'7", athletic freak. Don't make things hard on yourself that you need to, brother. You know what I'm saying? To keep your jab posted out there.
Because that motherfucking jab is great. That jab is the only thing he really need. I mean, if he used his jab consistently and learn how to parry and kind of defend against his opponent's jab, he'd be much better. I mean, because really, you can win a fight with a jab. You can lose a fight not jabbing enough. He got the jab in the right hand. I mean,
yeah, a simple one too. We've seen.
That's pretty much. I like to see him throwing left hook in there too, but
that's how he won the Severn fight.
We've seen guys be that bread and be their meat and potatoes at heavyweight. Fucking Lennox Lewis, he lived off that jab and fucking right. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing about it, though, I'm gonna say this. This is what I firmly believe. I believe that Wilder performs up to competition and he performs down to competition, which he got to find that balance, man. He got to learn to be consistent. He got to treat Washington Spilka like this Severn when he won the title. He got to act like he fighting to win the title every time, because it seems like if he facing the 100 ranked guy, he gonna struggle. But if he facing a Joshua or Klitschko, it could be like this. I mean, like just an impressive.
Yeah, and like I said, I kind of agree with what you're saying. He's not going to change until he get in there against the top dog. You know what I'm saying? Like a real beast in there.
That was a great assessment, because I actually think you're lowering in your skill set for that fighter. And in actuality, you should be getting them out of there. Like Mario Charlo got Chris Hatley out there.
Yeah, but I definitely I can agree as well.
Get out. Get him out.
I could agree he was coming off an injury, so I kind of give him the benefit of the doubt with Washington too. We'll keep looking forward to whatever happens next. I don't know if it's going to be Severn or not. He was calling off Joseph Parker this week, who found a replacement, you know what I'm saying, already. So, I mean, that's out the picture for July when he was trying to make that happen. So we'll just stay.
I think Ortiz, man. Don't sleep on that Ortiz. That's a fight that could happen. Ortiz might as well take it, man.
I don't think Ortiz, because I mean, he's in line to be the WBA fight. For whoever got a Klitschko and Joshua this weekend. Like, why risk that? You already got a title.
I mean, but who would you rather face? You know what I'm saying? Who would you rather? If you Ortiz, who would you rather face? Would you rather face? We don't know how the fight gonna play out, so it's kind of too early. But I'm saying, just you seeing all three fighters now. But if somebody give you a title shot, they give you a title shot, because none of the three gonna be easy. It's like with the Keith Thurman situation. Who is your preference, Lamont Peterson or Sean Porter? It's like you want to face Klitschko, Joshua, or Wilder. All of them can punch. All of them got certain skills that pose him challenges, and they all taller than him. So it's like, shit. If a lot of people saying Wilder the weakest champ, won't you go try to test that theory out and take your chances with that belt? Because at the end of the day, you still get a title shot from somebody.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
I mean, if everybody.
I don't know if he's necessarily in line. Like, I know he's one of the top ranked guys in the WBC, but they had that whole situation with Severn and Povetkin that messed that up. And somehow Severn was able to get his way out of a title eliminator, against Luis Ortiz, to where, he's actually been made the mandatory for a WBC fight against Wilder in a rematch. So I mean, so Ortiz is on the outside looking in with the WBC, but he's there with the WBA. You know, it's his next match. He's actually stated that he's going to wait on that fight. For the winner. So
Way too long, man.
Yeah. I mean, we should have to before the end of the year. If not early next year.
I think he loses to.
Go ahead.
I think he loses to Joshua or Wilder. I just don't. I mean, I think Klitschko gonna win, so I think he'll lose to Klitschko. He got a better chance against Klitschko just because they're close in age, and Klitschko can be bothered. But the other two, I just think they're too explosive for him, and he gonna find out that their reach is gonna be a motherfucker to get inside.
Well, I mean, stylistically, they're all pretty bad for him because of the reach. You know what I'm saying? Klitschko could flick his jab out there too. So he's in a position where he'd have to be an aggressor. I think Ortiz is more of a boxer himself. Like, I don't think he's necessarily one of those inside guys because, even in the Brian Jennings fight, he won by knockout. But Jennings was able to do some effective ass things on the inside against Ortiz, and I thought he got the better of him on the inside. For the most part, Ortiz was able to work him on the outside better. So, I mean, I think Ortiz is one of those guys that's actually a better boxer than he is, fighting in close quarters or, in the pocket, or per se. So I think all three of them got a good chance of him as long as they keep their jab out there. Because he's going to have to be an aggressor and put pressure on him, which I don't think that's not something his style obstacle. You guys think as far as Wilder, what's next for him?
Who would I like to see him fight?
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like it's the Vern, but if he can't, it's looking like the Parker thing is not gonna happen.
Well, he tried. Like we talked about it a month or two ago. We told him like to try to pursue a fight with called him out. You know what I'm saying? I can't say he tried because negotiation, but his hands tied behind his back because Parker he had obligations for Fury, and Fury pulled out. And I mean, you can't expect Parker, I guess, to just say fuck it. He been training this far, fight next week. So I mean, Stavern is what it's gonna be. I'm not gonna criticize this fight because he did call him out and let him know that I want to fight for July, and it ain't gonna happen. So,
all right, Bernard, anything you want to add?
We understand the WBC got Stavern as.
I mean, I like to see him against somebody like. I mean, I don't think he's that great. You know what I'm saying? But Dillian White. I mean, something like that would be cool to watch, just as a stay busy fight. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
I want Brian Jennings, man, but
I want Brian Jennings. But the question is, Brian Jennings has to be in the ring. And that's really frustrating to see somebody like that has not been in the ring lately. And what should come of that?
You guys think the Jennings would deserve a fight? Considering he's coming off. I don't know if it's back-to-back losses because he lost to Klitschko and then Ortiz, pretty close to each other.
Man, look, Chris Arreola got all them shots, man. Let Brian Jennings get his shot.
Hey, but hold on, but can you really not? Brian Jennings want to get his top opposition?
No, not at all, man. I mean, I definitely think he's going to.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, and
so you lost again.
Guys.
Didn't he knock out Spilker too?
What's up?
Didn't Jennings knock out Spilker?
Nah,
Who was the guy he fought? Was that Walk? You sure he knocked out Spilker in the 6th round?
Well, Brian Jennings, nah.
Yeah, he fought somebody. You remember he fought on 8? Who he fight on HBO? It was a white guy. Damn, he knocked him out. I thought it was Spilker.
Nah, I don't think it's a Spilker. Let me check out real quick.
I'm looking at it now, but let me say this though.
He actually did knock out his Spilker. Wow, okay.
Yeah, that's what I remember. I remember that.
Good.
Interesting. So, yeah.
I mean, that's actually a good fight they could make, man. I didn't even think about that one, but Jennings has been inactive so long. Of course, I'm gonna forget about his ass. Stylistically, it's probably a hard for Wilder too, because Jennings is under John David Jackson right now. And he's been working a different style. The last couple fights.
He just is athletic.
Yeah, very true, and a lot more discipline.
What about Amir
So,
Mansour, man? Would y'all like to see Mansour get his chance? I know he undersized, but I mean, he been calling for a
man,
fight.
I never seen a monster against any guy. You know what I'm saying? That I love that dude is he come out there to fight, man, in the bang. I love watching his fights personally. And I think he could give any champ hell. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter he's had fucking injuries and what 2 fights. You know, he had a cut tongue, like a lacerated tongue against Brazil or something like that, and then a shoulder injury, broken jaw. Yeah, so I'm like, he come out there to fight, man. I definitely love to see him in there against somebody. But
Or Big Baby Miller, whatever
Baby,
dude name is.
Big Baby Miller got a lot more to, you know, he ain't fought nobody worthwhile to really, for me to throw him in.
You know what?
But I like seeing guys who talk shit get humbled. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't earned nothing. So.
You down the damn, you heard about what happened already when they got they sparring on.
Yeah, I listened to it.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't want to see it until I know Miller is for real. He got to fight somebody before I'm like, yeah, put him in there against a champ.
Big Baby versus Bermain.
That's a good fight. They actually had beef with each other. You know what I'm saying? They was about to go.
Oh yeah.
Winner should have get WBC should get that one. And now Bermain legitimately beat Big Baby. Then here's my thing on this one too. I'm gonna propose on this one. This is the idea. If Wilder gets beat Bermain again, right? Let Kenny fight somebody like Big Baby Miller or somebody, right? The winner of those 2 bouts fight each other. Just in case Wilder cannot get a unification bout after the winner of Klitschko and Joshua.
I mean, I can't thrust Big Baby up there, man. Like he got to.
He need to fight a Brazil maybe. I think Wilder might fight Brazil if after he fights Deverne if he can't get a unification belt.
Yeah.
Because they got the little beef or whatever. So I mean,
yeah.
It seemed like we in another era of.
I told y'all that, man. That fight is gonna happen right there.
Brazil.
Yeah, I told y'all that.
Oh, nah, not with no pending lawsuit and all that shit. Nah.
That shit gonna happen.
Wilder ain't gonna give him the justice of a payday.
Yeah, I don't see it happening. You know what I'm saying?
They both signing that.
Yeah, I mean, and Brazil done had his fair share of shots, right? You know, already, man. Like, so I don't see him getting a shot based off of who he just beat recently. You know, nah, that was a kind of like even though he was expected to lose that fight. You know, I'm not gonna give him a title shot. You know, like I said, Baby Miller. A lot of people talking about him, but you know, you got to fight somebody intermediate before you know you even get put in that circle, man. So
who are the top heavyweights?
We in the era, man.
Who's the top heavyweight?
You said who's a who?
Who's the top heavyweight? Brazil already beat Amir Mansour.
Yeah, he beat Ugu or Uga or whatever.
Mansour would beat him had that not happened. Like Mansour would have beat him.
Yeah, he was beating him.
No, I agree with you. Yeah, he put it together, took the double. No, let me say this.
Man.
You got Wilder, Joshua, Klitschko, Ortiz,
and Parker.
As the top 5.
And I throw Jennings at 6, just off skill.
Easily.
Who are 7, 8, 9, 10?
I'd probably go with Kubrat Pulev as one of them, probably like number 7.
Mr. Burr. Povetkin just off skill.
Yeah, but you know he
But I mean,
he on that
can actually fight without using drugs.
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean we don't know. Them motherfuckers over in Russia, they all be doping. So shit, in other countries, I don't know, man.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think we're in another era of weak heavyweight champions, man.
Yeah. We definitely
are heavyweights.
Of course, man, but you could say that around you know, the whole sport of boxing, of course the skills have declined, you know, it ain't the same. But you know, heavyweight division is probably just as bad as 160 in my opinion. You know, it's not very deep, you know, from top to bottom 1 through 10, it's not deep, you know what I'm saying? So it's one of those divisions, and it's sad to say because heavyweight division's always been a staple of boxing, and you know we ain't got that now. Even though we got some big fights, you know, 1 to 5 that can be made.
Man, we just need to make.
Yeah, basically, you know, the unification need to come. organization needs to stop standing in the way, you know, because that's one thing we're missing in boxing is that undisputed champion, man. So organizations need to get out the way, man. Anything you guys want to get out there, you know, get out your handles before you get out of here. Be cool. Where can they find you at?
Hey, they can find me at Colossal Boxing Talk. Follow us on Twitter at Colossal CBT. Like our page, Colossal Boxing Talk, and Jarrell Jasper on Facebook if you want to add me. The movement as well. So.
All right. Bernard, where can they find you at?
They can find me on here, of course, at the Movement Boxing Podcast. Sunday with my partners, Twine, Bo, 2K. You can find me on Truth and Facts About Boxing, of course, on YouTube. Or Fat Box One on Twitter and Facebook. I believe the Twitter is the one with the capital. You can find me also. I control the Movement Instagram page, which is at the Movement at DAMUVMENT BP. The Twitter, I've been giving y'all the wrong one. I truly apologize. It's at the MUVMENT boxing, BOXING. That's my fault. I was looking at the email address and I think they was both the same. So I told you,
I was about to. Hey, I would have got it myself, man, which is crazy as hell. So,
hey, where it go? If you would have, of course, if you would have found it on Instagram, I always post everything on Twitter. I mean, Twitter version on that, so eventually you would have actually found the real handle. So,
yeah.
Well, just look at the boxing on Twitter. Just type that in.
All right. So basically, before we get out, I definitely want to give a shout out to our cohorts, also part of the Movement Boxing Podcast. You know, Bernard's partner in crime, Bo, and of course, 2K, the guy from the Guys of Boxing Talk, and of course, I am Twine Liberty. You know what I'm saying? Also part of the movement, man. You know what I'm saying? We come together and do this thing. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no kind of quarrels, no kind of beefing, no divisiveness. We come together to do this thing, squash out mainstream media, give y'all the real. All right, so we catch y'all on Sunday on the Movement Boxing Podcast. Till then, man, we catch y'all later, and thanks for joining in.
Peace.